الحمد لله نحمده ونشكره نستعين به جل وعلا ونستهديه ونستغفره نعوذ به سبحانه وتعالى من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. عباد الله نصحكم ونفسي الآثمة بتقوى الله أحثكم وإياها على طاعته أحذركم وإياها وبال مخالفته جل وعلا ومعصيته. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا وحبيبنا وعظيمنا ونبينا محمدا صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وسلم عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على هذا النبي الأمين وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين وارض اللهم عن أصحابه أجمعين وعنا معهم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. أما بعد عباد الله، يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى في المحكم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يوم يجمع الله الرسل فيقول ماذا أجبتم قالوا لا علم لنا إنك أنت علام الغيوب. The ayah في سورة المائدة. And the ayah basically says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَوْمَ يَجْمَعُ اللَّهُ الرُّسُلَ, a day where Allah gathers the messengers, puts them together. يَوْمَ يَجْمَعُ اللَّهُ الرُّسُلَ, a day where Allah gathers the messengers, فَيَقُولُ مَاذَا أُجِبْتُمْ, and He asks those messengers, how were you answered? In what way did the people answer you? You were sent as messengers, how you were received. ماذا أجبتم? The ayah says, قالوا, the messengers say, reply, they say, لا علم لنا, we don't know how we were answered. How our people answered us, we don't know. إنك أنت علام الغيوب. Oh Allah, you are the one who knows the unseen. And as all in the entire Quran, al-ayat al-Quraniyah always have multiple aspects of information and multiple venues to understand, and then many things actually buried under the ayah. If we start from the beginning where Allah says, يَوْمَ يَجْمَعِ اللَّهُ الرُّسُلَ, يَوْمَ. Notice Allah says here, يَوْمَ means a day where Allah gathers the messengers. What is that day where Allah gathers the messengers? يوم القيامة. لكن the Quran goes over it as if it doesn't require any emphasis. As if there is, يوم القيامة does not need substantiation. In other words, there is no need for us to supply proofs about يوم القيامة. The day where the messengers will be gathered in the story. That is by definition يوم القيامة, for as if the Quran is trying to say, since you believe there is a creator, there has to be يوم القيامة. Notice? Therefore, they go to say that the substantiation of the existence of the Creator subhanahu wa ta'ala is a matter of intellect. There is no need actually for any text to be sent. Even if Allah did not send any messenger or any book to humanity, the intellect by itself ought to serve to substantiate the existence of the Creator subhanahu wa ta'ala. If I was to give you an example, وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى, not an example out of likening Allah to the creation, like an example to talk about, make our understanding closer. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala Sayyidina Muhammad. If I present you with a high-tech computer, very new, does all kinds of things that you know and things that you don't know, the first impression that will come to your mind that the engineer of this computer must be someone who has lots of knowledge. Not someone who doesn't know can make that computer, can do these things. The same thing if I was to tell you, or take someone, let's say he works in any profession, let's say salesman, and no degrading for anybody regardless of what they do. Allah honored everyone in the field they are, as long as they are productive, honest and sincere. Like, take someone who is, let's say, in sales, and give him a complicated physical and mathematical equations to solve. It's not my job. I don't understand what you're talking about, huh? Therefore, this creation that we are in, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created this world, and the world runs. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala willed for this world to run based on physicists, codes of physics and mathematical equations that are so complex that people start to begin to maybe understand portions of it. And when they understand some portions of the creation, maybe they can employ their capacities and faculties to invent things like planes so they can fly into the air. Though this invention per se, it has always been there. You just have to figure out the wisdom behind the creation Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made, so you can use it. Just like the people in the old days built the pyramids, they still don't know how it was. Just like the water used to run from up to down, etc. So many things in the creation. But if the people were to understand simply some aspects of the wisdom behind that creation, they would be able to employ so many things that are the beginning. The sky is the beginning. Maybe the limit, the sky maybe is the beginning versus the limit. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. فَانْفُذُوا لَا تَنْفُذُونَ إِلَّا بِسُلْطَانٍ. If you want to go break through the heavens, try. You will go only with sultan. Sultan, some ulama say, it's the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of course, la shak, but also the knowledge that you may acquire. So therefore, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then creates this universe with these rules that are so complex, and that the creation of the world is so perfected, that is only an indication that there is a creator, number one, and that the creator subhanahu wa ta'ala is knowledgeable, has knowledge subhanahu wa ta'ala, is attributed with the knowledge, the eternal knowledge. Also is attributed with the qudra, the power. Because someone who's not knowledgeable and someone who's not attributed with power cannot create something like this. So there has to be knowledge, there has to be power, and also there has to be hikmah, wisdom. For things are put in their place, subhanAllah. Everything is put in its place. You see that the percentage of oxygen in the air versus the percentage of nitrogen versus the percentage of CO2, all these things, بِمِقْدَارٍ. Allah mentions measured, as if they are measured. They are done exactly, well, not 21.20%, but 20 point some percent, not 21%. There's all these things, everything. وَالشَّمْسُ تَجْرِي لِمُسْتَقَرٍ لَهَا ذَلِكَ تَقْدِيرُ الْعَزِيزِ الْعَلِيمِ. When the sun walks its orbit, it's not chaotic, it's taqdeer. ذَلِكَ تَقْدِيرُ الْعَزِيزِ الْعَلِيمِ. The way it goes in that orbit is taqdeer. لَا الشَّمْسُ يَنْبَغِي لَهَا تُدْرِكَ الْقَمَرَ وَلَا اللَّيْلُ سَابِقُ النَّهَارِ. Everyone goes their orbit. وَكُلٌّ فِي فَلَكٍ يَسْبَحُونَ. That shows you simple indication that the Creator subhanahu wa ta'ala is Khaliq, Creator, number one, Alim, attributed with knowledge, Qadir, attributed with power, and wisdom. Because wisdom entails that everything goes in its place, not chaotically. أَفَحَسِبْتُمْ أَنَّمَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ عَبَثًا. The Quran questions the people, saying to them, do you think that you are just created like this coincidentally or chaotically? No? Abath means no. Define the opposite of wisdom is abath. So therefore that shows you then, since there is a creator that is attributed with wisdom and power and knowledge, there has to be Yawm al-Qiyamah. By definition. Intellectually also. Textually for sure, number one. Like also intellectually. How come? Well, since there is a creator that is just and attributed with wisdom and knowledge and power, there has to be a day of judgment. Why? Because some people live their whole life as oppressors. They live and die oppressors. And some people live their whole lives. They live and die oppressed. Some people live their whole lives, cheating, stealing, others. Some people live their lives being cheated, stolen from. We know that crimes happen all the time. And the law tries to follow the crime. But we know also that some crimes, or many crimes, go unaccounted for. As long as, since there is a just creator, Adil, Khaliq, Adil subhanahu wa ta'ala, Adil, He is just and He is attributed with wisdom. Every account must be settled according to justice. Justice must prevail. Otherwise, it would negate the wisdom of the Creator subhanahu wa ta'ala. There would be no wisdom if then the oppressor is the one that prevails, and the non-wisdom is the one that prevails. Then the creation is not balanced. And therefore, since there is a Creator, there is a day for balancing all the accounts, and that is the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah. Therefore, Al-Quran does not even bother to go into details to substantiate that in this ayah. It says, يَوْمَ يَجْمَعِ اللَّهُ الرُّسُلَ, a day where Allah gathers all the messengers. There is no need to substantiate that day. By definition, with the intellect itself, you ought to substantiate and deduce that there is a Creator that is knowledgeable and just and powerful. And since there is a Creator, there is going to be a day where the accounts will be settled. لا ظلم اليوم. Therefore Allah declares Yawm al-Qiyamah in other ayah by saying today, the meaning لا ظلم اليوم means today there shall be no injustices anymore. As if the whole dunya is filled with injustices, as always. But today, Yawm al-Qiyamah, there shall be no injustice happening anymore. Notice. لا ظلم اليوم. اليوم تجزون بما كنتم تعملون. Another ayah. Today you shall be rewarded based on what you were doing. Which means what? No oppression, no injustice. Everything will be settled. That is important for us, Muslims specifically, because that gives you the understanding and affirms your belief that whatever you say or do, you are accounted for. And just because you think you may get away with this in the dunya, there will be a day where not even something worth like an atom weight will disappear or will be hidden. Everything will be exposed, and everything you say and do will be put on the scale, and you shall be accounted for that. And that's the connection between عالم الغيب والشهادة. The world of unseen and the world of seen. For those who believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala firmly, like the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum, like Sayyidina Ibn Abbas when he describes the Sahaba, he says, may Allah be pleased with those purified souls. They were in the Akhirah while they lived in the dunya, and they were in the Akhirah while they were in the dunya. Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'in. They lived in the Akhirah while they were in dunya. What does that mean? It means the connection between the world of unseen and the world of seen was not, there was no barrier, it was totally connected. So they could see themselves in the Akhirah while they were living in the dunya. They were putting themselves on the scale of the Akhirah while they were still living in the dunya. Because these things are pillars of our faith and our iman. Because you know that word that you say to people that you think is not worth anything, that word may come back and haunt you very badly in the day of judgment. That blink of an eye, that movement of the hand, why does Allah say, وَيْلٌ لِكُلِّ هُمَزَةٍ لُمَزَةٍ? That even blink, it's registered. مَا يَلْفِظُ مِنْ قَوْلٍ إِلَّا لَدَيْهِ رَقِيبٌ عَتِيدٌ. Anything that say, but is registered. إِنَّا كُنَّا نَسْتَنْسِخُ مَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. The Quran is filled with all these emphasis, which means here, we were copying what you are doing. Al-Malaika are copying what you're doing. Now, let's go back to the Quran, to the ayah here. يَوْمَ يَجْمَعِ اللَّهُ الرُّسُلَ. A day, that's the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah. Allah will gather all the prophets. So not only the people will be gathered for questioning, also the prophets, the messengers will be gathered also for submitting their reports and questioning. يَوْمَ يَجْمَعِ اللَّهُ الرُّسُلَ. A day where the Rusul will be summoned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَيَقول, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ask them, مَاذَا أُجِبْتُمْ? How were you answered? We sent you, Allah sent you with the message. How did people answer you? How were you received by your people? Now some people say, I'm really puzzled. How come Allah, He's all-knowing? You just said all-knowing, eternal, everlasting knowledge, not subject to change, not created, not similar to the creation. And then how come He's asking them, how were you answered? Well, He knows everything. Why does he ask the messengers, how were you answered? How were you received? The ulama have a differentiation here in some opinions where they say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will to judge people based on the wisdom and based on what they actually do, not based on His eternal knowledge of what they're going to do. Not based on His eternal knowledge what people are going to do, but He will judge them basically on the result of their deeds, that so they can testify as witnesses for or against themselves. So they can themselves testify as witnesses for or against themselves. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks everybody, of course, for these things, then so they can testify. They know it. So they don't say we don't know, but they say we have committed and we have said and we have done. Therefore, their hands, their feet, their tongues testify. يَوْمَ تَشْهَدُ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَأَرْجُلُهُمْ بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْسِبُونَ. Notice? They say this concept also, whether do you judge by the knowledge or by the end result of people? They say the Anbiya wa al-Khulafa also use that. You see, what does that mean? You see many times in the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam where he is judging things by the result, though he was told what the result is, but he did not reveal that knowledge. He went along with them, with how things are. For example, the munafiqeen. They were munafiqeen in Medina, as you all know. They come and sit and pray and all these things. People don't know them. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he knew them and he told Hudayfa radiallahu ta'ala anhu with their names. But he still dealt with them as they are. That's what they are. But his knowledge knew. Allah told him that these people are munafiqeen and they shall die as such. Notice. Another incident where Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam leaves the knowledge and then have things go the way they're supposed to, in a sense. Fatih Mecca, the liberation of Mecca. He told them this is a victory. Some people said no, it's not. Among them said not a victory. How can it be a victory? Notice the knowledge of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which precedes all these things, because Allah told him how things will happen and how things will be revealed. But then you see, things have to go to a certain way, and there has to be an agreement, and there has to be then Quraysh will break the agreement, etc. Things have to go, these things like this. You all know the event where Sayyidina Ali Amir al-Mu'mineen was had the shield, that shield that they have, and the shield, somebody stole it and sold it to Yahudi from Medina. Somebody stole the shield of Sayyidina Amir al-Mu'mineen. At that time, as you all know, the time of the Khulafa Rashideen, the Hakim or the Khalifa was not living in a palace, nor did he have guards on him. There is no budget for these things. The budget was for the people who are needy, and therefore they were living like Sayyidina Umar under the tree in the masjid. That's where they would spend most of their time. They had their homes, very simple. Anyway, someone stole the shield of Sayyidina Ali and sold it to some Yahudi from Medina. Sayyidina Ali knows the shield. This is mine. This is the one I had it. He says, this is mine. He says, no, this is not yours. I bought it. He takes him to the judge. The judge at that time, the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice was Shaykh al-Qadi. His name is Shaykh. He's a judge, knowledgeable judge. He comes to him who? They claim between Ali, the Khalifa of the Muslims at the time, and a Yahudi who was living with the people in Medina. And Ali, Amir al-Mu'minin tells him, look, I know this shield, this is my shield, the Prophet ﷺ gave it to me, this is how it is, etc., etc., etc. The Yahudi tells him, look, judge, the shield is in my hand, wal-yad, and the fiqh, as you all know, is hujjah. If you have something in your hand, this is something for you. It's considered as a proof for you, not against you. It's in my possession. My possession, it means it's for me. As long as I cannot prove it's the other way around. So the Yahudi from Medina says, look, this is in my possession. I bought it. Does he have evidence? Anybody can substantiate his evidence that this is exactly his? It's not maybe similar to his? Sayyidina Ali told the judge, he says, then, I cannot bring this kind of evidence. Then the shield is his. Look at this. In the knowledge of Sayyidina Ali al-Mu'mineen, definitively, this is his. Lakin, he let that knowledge walk for what happened and the things that were going on, the results of matters. But then when that Yahudi came out and he heard that he's Abu Hassan, actually he was sitting here, Ali ibn Abi Talib, the Khalifa, he did not know this was Ali, this is your Khalifa, and he's bringing me to the judge, me and him on the same level. Not only that, you as a Muslim judge against the supreme Khalifa of your land, for the benefit of a Yahudi who's living in Medina. I testify by Allah that your deen is a deen of haqq. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. This kind of deen is not a deen made up by people. That's the reflection of the Yahudi. Notice? So why does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then ask them, ماذا أجبتم? How were you answered? He knows. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants the Prophets alayhimus salam to tell, so we also can learn. So we understand that also you have to follow the results. قالوا لا علم لنا. The Anbiya now replied, we don't know. Wait a minute. What do you mean Anbiya don't know? Weren't they sent to the people? Didn't they deal with the people? قالوا لا علم لنا إنك أنت العلام الغيوب. Oh Allah, we do not know. Some of them say, Imam al-Razi rahimahullah, al-Khutbah, al-Tabari, they said we do not know because of the situation in the day of Qiyamah. The situation is so overwhelming, overtaking and overpowering, so much that it made the prophets and the messengers alayhimus salam ajma'een didn't even know how to respond to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They were overtaken by this magical, majestical presence of the things that were happening the day of the Qiyamah and the sun and the moon and the whole universe has changed. Where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَوْمَ تَذْهَلُ كُلُّ مُرْضِعَةٍ عَمَّا أَرْضَعَتْ. Even the one who's breastfeeding, how close this connection is, she will abandon that child as if it is. That will be abandoning of the closest one to you. وَتَضَعُ كُلُّ ذَاتِ حَمْلٍ حَمْلَهَا وَتَرَى النَّاسَ سُكَارَى وَمَا هُمْ بِسُكَارَى. And everyone who is pregnant will abandon that pregnancy, and you will see people walking as if they are drunk. But the Quran says, وَمَا هُمْ بِسُكَارَى. But they are not actually drunk. وَلَكِنَّ عَذَابَ اللَّهِ شَدِيدٌ. Because of the punishment of Allah, severe that day. يَوْمَ يَفِرُّ الْمَرْءُ مِنْ أَخِيهِ. A day of Quran, notice, the Quran describes this, where the human being runs away from his brother, وَأُمِّهِ وَأَبِيهِ, and his mother and his father, وَصَاحِبَتِهِ وَبَنِيهِ, and his wife and his children. You will leave. لِكُلٍّ مِّنْهُمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ شَأْنٌ يُغْنِيهِ. Everyone that day is so occupied and busy in that day trying to look for their self-survival. So therefore the Anbiya themselves, they said, لَا عِلْمَ لَنَا. Oh Allah, we don't know. When Allah asked them. Lakin, Al-Imam al-Razi says, to me, this is weak. This opinion, okay, fine. Even though some Akabir, he said. Some Akabir said this. Some Akabir of the ulama of al-Sunnah said this. He said, lakin this opinion is weak. Why? Because Al-Anbiya are the masters of the awliya. يعني سادات الأولياء هم الأنبياء عليهم السلام. And if Allah says about the awliya, لا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. They shall never be saddened, nor shall they ever be in fear. Then how come they are in fear of that day? That contradicts the Quran. Those are the ones that لا يحزنهم الفزع الأكبر. They are not saddened, the Quran mentions, by the big scare. Al-Anbiya عليهم السلام. So therefore, that is not valid then, according to some ulama. Some ulama said it's valid. Let's go then to the other one. قالوا لا علم لنا. We don't know. They said we don't know. In a sense, those who believed in us while we were there, some people believed, some people didn't believe, some people were munafiqeen, and oh Allah, after we died, we don't know. We don't know what happened after we died. Like in our life, So such and such and such and such, this is how they answered us. After we died, we don't know. And that's also very important in the sense of Al-Anbiya, or Al-Quran Kareem wants to tell us this, wants to show us, when does Allah send another messenger to people? When they deviate from the previous messenger. They deviate until it necessitates sending another messenger to guide them back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Correct? Until the last ummah, which is the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, then that will end with the qiyamah. Therefore, as of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us here, that these people, the Anbiya said, La ilma lana, we do not know what happened after our death, in the sense that our people deviated so much, and anta allamul ghuyub, you know what happened, and people will keep deviating and deviating and deviating until another messenger is sent and is called upon, until the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where there is no other messenger that will be sent, and therefore that's the qiyamah, and that shall happen suddenly. Suddenly. اقترب للناس حسابهم وهم في غفلة معرضون. The hisab comes and the people don't still, they're busy doing other things. They don't realize that the qiyamah is right there. It shows us, in other words, it shows us that we need to see how are we close to the Prophet ﷺ after his passing away compared to when he was in the dunya, in the sense that the Quran talks about, and with the Sahaba. How did the Sahaba deal with the Prophet ﷺ while he was amongst them? And how are we dealing with the Prophet ﷺ after he passed away? Is there a big gap? Because the bigger the gap is, the closer the ummah is going, the closer the time is for the Yawm al-Qiyamah. That means the closer the time for preparation. And that means the more sudden the Qiyamah will appear. You see the point? Again, we have to go through and see. So, we don't know. We know what happened while we were there, but we don't know what happened after we died. In other words, it seems like after we died, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Hadith Muslim, إِنَّكَ لَا تَدْرِي مَا أَحْدَثُ بَعْدَكَ. You do not know what happened after you, in the sense that what happened after you, people are deviating away from your sunnah, and they will deviate more and more and more and more, until, since there is no other messenger that can be called upon, the time of Qiyamah is due. Well, Qiyamah comes on the worst of people, as you know. That's one opinion. Let's go to another opinion. قَالُوا لَا عِلْمَ لَنَا. They say, we do not know. The messengers replied, Allah asked them, مَاذَا أُجِبْتُمْ? How were you answered? They said, we don't know. لَا عِلْمَ لَنَا. They said, some Mufassirin say, it means we don't really know how people responded to us. In other words, we don't know the hearts of people. We know how their lips answered us, but we don't know their batin. We know their zahir, but we don't know their batin. We don't know what they hide in themselves. So therefore, you see from the sunnah of Prophet ﷺ, anyone who came testifying with that, Muhammad Rasulullah ﷺ, he applied on them the ahkam of Islam and Muslimin al-zahir. They come. He knows there are munafiqeen, he does. Like what do? You still apply to them the ahkam of Islam. Why? So people nowadays don't come and say, this person is munafiq. This person is munafiq. That person has no deen. That person has this. This person has nifaq in their heart. For only Allah knows those who have hypocrisy in their hearts. As long as they testify, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, there's a bond between you and them, and that bond is sacred, and you have to respect it, because Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and Allah told him the names of these things, revealed to him all that knowledge, yet he still judges these people by their apparent behavior. They come to him. Hadith authentic, sahih. They said, Ya Rasulullah, they said, when he says, the one who's, when you come back to Medina, you'll see the one who's powerful, that man telling the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, munafiq in Medina. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the Sahaba wanted to kill him. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, no, leave him. حتى لا يقال أن محمد يقتل أصحابه. Do not kill him, so they don't say that Muhammad kills his people around him. Leave him. He knows he's munafiq. But he shall be judged. He shall be judged. That means for me and you also, that we watch what we say about others, and we watch our niyah, because if the messengers, they submit that to Allah, though Allah revealed that knowledge to them, then it is more adab of us to submit these things to Allah, and not try to indulge in the interpretations of the niyah of people inside their hearts. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا كما أمر وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له دوراما لمن جحد به وكفر وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وسلم خاتم الأنبياء المعتبر صلى اللهم وسلم وبارك على هذا النبي وعلى آله أهل الفقه والنظر والعلم والأثر وعلى من بآثاره مقتفى واعتبر. The last thing I'll mention very quickly, قالوا لا علم لنا. It is a sign of etiquette of the Anbiya with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أدب الأنبياء مع الله سبحانه وتعالى. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught them that knowledge and gave them that knowledge? But out of the respect of the Anbiya and the adab of the Anbiya, they submitted that though they knew. They said, لا علم لنا إنك أنت علام الغيوب. And that shows you that when the more people know, the more humble they are. And the less people know, the more they think they know everything. Subhanallah. The less they know, they think they know everything, and they make judgments on everything. And the more they know, the more restrained they are, and the more submissive they are, because they realize the more they know, they realize the more they don't know. Like in Maqam al-Anbiya, the Maqam of perfection is much higher above that. They still with the adab. They say, لا علم لنا إنك أنت علام الغيوب. Oh Allah, you are the knowledgeable in everything that happens. That tells us we go back to the very first thing that we started saying, that there is a Yawm al-Qiyamah. وَإِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَّامُ الْغُيُوبِ. The Qiyamah will happen and Allah knows everything. Which means that what we do every single day will be accounted for. The things we say, the things we talk about, the things we write, the things we type, where we walk, what we hear, what we see. All that shall be accounted for. Clean your act today. Let's prepare ourselves today so we can be purified, because Allah knows everything that we do, and we will be accounted for everything we do. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم. بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين. أعلي يا مولانا كلمة الحق والدين. اللهم من أراد بالإسلام والمسلمين خيرا فوفقه إليه، من أراد بهم غير ذلك فاجعل دابرة السوء عليه. اللهم رد المسلمين إلى دينك ردا جميلا. آت أنفسها تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها، أنت وليها ومولاها. اشف اللهم مرضانا وعاف مبتلانا وفك أسرانا وارحم موتانا. اغفر اللهم لنا ولآبائنا ولمشايخنا ولمن له حق علينا، ولمن على الخير أعاننا وعن الشر أبعدنا، ولمن أوصانا بالدعاء. وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وآله. أقيم الصلاة.